Hi and good evening, everyone. My name is Albert, and this is Vlogs About Nothing. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your night to join me. I really do appreciate that. I understand that it's Halloween, but we have 4 videos, so we'll get to that. I do want to open up tonight by adding that the following impromptu talk involves things that may make you feel uncomfortable. They may in fact make you angry. So definitely, like, if you're not vibing on the truth right now, or if you're not interested in learning all about China's wonderful torture camps for teens, then I definitely not watch this video. And so I open like that, obviously, right? And for those of you that are new to the program, it's nice to meet you. We don't always talk about the worst of all of the worst things that happen in the world, but this one's been on my mind for a while. And I gotta say that while I love Asian people, I love Chinese people, Japanese people, you feel me? Just, I feel like the same way about people that live within the country of Israel. Like, I'm pro people. I think I've made that very clear. Almost like a populist. I seriously am so about people, like, and what's better and right and the best way to do things for the greatest number of people. I've thought this since I was a young little dude, and I'll think that until I'm an old, shriveled up gray man. It's just something that I've felt passionately about, you feel me, forever. And so, I want to, preface the following by saying that, again, I love Asian people, and the people that live in China are not the problem, but they are a part of the problem. And it's unfortunate because when you live under a communist rule and Winnie the Pooh's in charge, I'm not quite sure that a lot can get done. And I don't know if that's an uncomfortable area of discussion for people. I understand that China is a world global power. I get that. And again, they didn't get there from not working very hard and from, at some point, taking all of the best things in communist or communism, and all while using all of the worst things that can be manipulated in that kind of, one would argue, benevolent ideology. I mean, I immediately think of religion. I mean, corruption is rampant, and it sort of poisons all of what's good and all of the really good ideas that people may or may not have regarding fictional or non-fictional characters involved in any kinds of stories that involve being good. You feel me? Like, again, religion, communism, capitalism, socialism. I mean, just, it's interesting, right? How human beings can make really cool things and ideas absolute garbage, as Joe Biden did call all of the Donald Trump supporters. I just, in a nutshell, I do want to say that China, I really am not happy that as parents, they are forced. They live in a society that perpetuates some really, really heinous acts. And we're not even talking about the Uyghurs genocide, are we? In the Zhejiang province, or the Zhejiang province, rather, not to be mistaken. So I'm just saying, like, other than the Uyghurs genocide, and other than the fact that I have a huge problem with middle class communistic parents in this regard as it relates to China. And I bring up the communism part because they've managed to turn communism into a very powerful, authoritative, totalitarian kind of dictatorship. I mean, think of the anthem, 1984, Brave New World, all of these other novels that depict kind of a dystopia. I mean, all China's missing is a department named the Ministry of Love. But then we've all heard of Tencent, haven't we? And I guess if we haven't, I guess there's a whole deep dive on Tencent as well. But they're around too. So, hey, here's the thing. In China, the practice that's currently taking place is parents are forcing their children, teenagers, to attend boot camps. I mean, as Westerners, we can, I guess that's the best kind of way to put that. Those exist here. We also send our children, teens, to different boarding schools, boot camps. Some of them are in record numbers locked up in juvenile facilities all over the country. Just, I guess, prepping people for what is the largest prison population on the planet. So, hey, the United States of America is not perfect. You feel me? But I am saying that there's no doctrine here in America that says if your children are bad, you got to get rid of them by sending them to a torture camp. I mean, those of us with half a brain realize that this is in fact a service provided by Child and Youth Family Services. CYFD is all of it is called in each state. But as dark of a joke that is, it's actually got some real truth to it. But hey, I can't make this stuff up. Just, there's a running track record of there being terrible conditions at CYFD facilities all throughout the country. And definitely don't Google CYFD New Mexico. So, hey, I bring this all to light and I joke about it in a super cringe, unkinda kosher way, you feel me? Because that is happening in China right now. Parents are sending their children to places that they are receiving treatment that is often resulting in death. Okay? So, I mean, again, I can't make this stuff up. I just would ask that you check the link in the description below so that somebody way more informed about me in that particular area is able to point out all of exactly the empirical evidence that clearly shows that China is not only engaging in a cultural and racial genocide in the Zhejiang province with the Uyghurs population, but moreover, they're also creating a kind of chaos within their own system, within their own people, that is making their parents send their children to places that are, at best, boot camps, and at the very worst, end-of-life sentences for some of these children that are targeted as troubled or targeted as over-hyper or oversensitive or just, in plain reality, not willing to conform to the standards that communistic China and Winnie the Pooh have laid out for them. Now, I don't really find that at all to be appropriate as it concerns human rights. I don't think it's okay for any major superpower, including China, to openly advocate and perpetuate a kind of behavior within their own communities that really punishes the youth for wanting to have free rights, for wanting to have free will, for wanting to have basic human rights. It doesn't make any sense. And in fact, I'm pretty sure that's insane. Again, I'm not a psychology guy, professor, person. And in fact, I'm currently unemployed and hopefully, it stays that way because I want to really do really cool things on this YouTube channel. I guess talking about China and Winnie the Pooh maybe isn't the best route to take as it concerns, but hey, here's the thing. It is in fact the truth. You know what I mean? Exactly, that's what it is. And I don't think it can be argued in any other way. Just because Chinese teen torture camps exist. And that should make us all just even a little more uncomfortable knowing that Winnie the Pooh is halfway around the world. It's literally, in the middle of a genocide level extinction towards a group of people that just want to live their lives, you know what I mean? And at no fault of their own are literally being sent to factories where they are turned into human slaves. And then those products are sold on places like Temu and rampant, really out of the wild marketplaces like Amazon and the deep dark corners of where they source some of their things. And I just am not about it. You feel me? I'm not about not talking about it. I'm not about not knowing about it. And I'm not about, continuing to say that I support a government. Again, I support the Chinese people when they make good decisions. And it seems as if the only Chinese citizens in particular that are making good decisions are being directly punished by it via their parents that live in a society that ultimately really forces them to engage in this kind of very, very toxic, very evil, almost arguably predatory, but definitely psychotic kind of behavior as it concerns trying to control other human beings. It just really doesn't work out that well. And the best kinds of results are the results that you see in the link in the description below. And those best results are the worst of any kind of potential scenario you'd ever want to find yourself in, much less your children. You feel me? Like, I'm just saying that what's happening in these Chinese teen torture camps all throughout China is wrong. And I mean, so is not being able to call Winnie the Pooh, you know? I mean, people have to like abandon their entire careers just so that they can appease Winnie the Pooh. So anyways, I hope that you guys have a really good night. Thank you for watching the show, and we'll see you real soon. Bye. Check that link in the description below. It's kind of like a, you know, more of like a humbling kind of a thing because these are in fact children, and Chinese parents are completely enabling this kind of thing that's going on. So it's just a really interesting thing, and definitely check it out. It's interesting, but it's completely messed up. Definitely not what they should be doing, and I'm happy to talk about all of the things that no one else wants to talk about right here on YouTube for your entertainment. Bye.